All right, y'all. Welcome to the weekly Bool. I'm one of your hosts, Michael Cole. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Benjamin Cristo and Alexander Gaius.
Hello.
Hello.
Today is episode 1 of the weekly Bool, and we will be doing predictions for the rest of the season, even though the season already started. All right, so let's get started. Let's just jump right into it. The NFC East. Who would like to go first?
You got this one.
All right. So number 1, I have the Cowboys, 7-9. Number 2, Eagles, 6-10. Number 3, Washington football team, 5-11. And number 4, I have Giants, 4-12. Thoughts?
All right. First of all, Michael, in what world do you see Dak Prescott leading the Dallas Cowboys to take the NFC East over the Eagles? I don't see it.
In a world where Carson Wentz is getting beaten up constantly and he can't fucking let go of the ball. I mean, Washington, they have a decent defense. They have they have a good pass rush defense, but they need to do better against a team like that. And if they fall apart, I really think it's going to be the Cowboys this year.
I mean, listen, to be fair, first game of the season with almost a completely new team, their O-line isn't there. Jason Peters, he moved to right guard or something like that. I mean, you got to cut him a little bit of slack. I don't think Dak Prescott is leading anybody anywhere.
I think I did cut them a little slack by giving them 6-10. I think, they're injured now, but they don't have Dillard. I mean, if they're getting injured this often, I just feel like the worst is gonna happen, honestly, to the Eagles. And I think it's the same thing that happened last year. We barely beat the Cowboys, and I think it's just gonna be a matter of this time around. It's going to be the Cowboys. I mean, I don't think they're going to get very far in the playoffs because I do think that Dak Prescott just can't perform in big games.
I'm gonna have to agree with Michael in general on this. I think one of the strongholds of the Eagles the past couple years has been their offensive line, and I think Brandon Brooks is one of the most underrated guards in the league, and with him being out for the entire year, I think is going to have such a huge impact. Also, we won't get into this now, but I don't think Carson is it. As much as I want him to be, I don't think he's it. So for my NFC East, I got Cowboys on top, 9-7 record. I got the Eagles next at 7-9. Then I got Washington at 4-12. And then I got the Giants at 3-13. I still just don't see any light in that team other than Saquon. I mean, you can argue that Daniel Jones has some hope for the future, but I still think he needs time to develop and get used to the league.
I do have a similar record with the Giants at 4-12, but I think there's definitely some hope there. I did watch the beginning of the Steelers game on Monday, and I think against a Steelers defense, they held their own, at least in the beginning, and I think there was a lot of promise, especially with Daniel Jones. I gotta say something about Carson Wentz because I think it's a big part of why the Eagles are doing so poorly. But I do think I think he's the guy. I mean, I think he does have problems, but when you have no good wide receivers and you're playing with practice squad players and you make it to the playoffs like he did last year, he's just a galvanizing leader. I mean, he needs to work. He has problems definitely, and he needs a good offensive line surrounding him. I think maybe this season he's not going to be the guy, but if the Eagles build around him and really just focus on protecting him, he has the weapons he needs now. I think Jalen Reagor has a lot of potential. I think it would be wasteful to get rid of Carson Wentz and say tank for Trevor Lawrence, I think there are a lot of good quarterbacks that could replace him, but he's shown that he can lead the Eagles to success, even with limited talent around him.
How many playoffs wins does he have?
He doesn't have any. I mean, like what does injury prone even mean? How can someone just be injury prone? I guess because he holds onto the ball and he gets sacked, but that's not really his fault. I think it's more the offensive line. I think last year it was a dirty hit that got him out of the playoffs. And I mean, like it, and in 2017, when great year, got replaced by Nick Foles. What injured him was also what made him really good with how he used his legs. I mean, he was reckless, but he took that risk, and I think that's what gave the Eagles such a successful season that year.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Yeah, I do think that he needs to work on some things, and coaching isn't really doing him any favors by just kind of putting him in these situations where he just has to throw the ball immediately and he has like no protection. I mean, I think they need to start thinking smarter and using Jalen Hurts more. Honestly, he definitely
Use him
needs
as a Taysom Hill.
Right. He needs to learn. He needs to sit and learn behind Carson Wentz, but I think he can be pretty useful now as a jack of all trades.
All right. Well, to round it off, I obviously had Philadelphia leading the division at 10-6.
Oh my God!
Look, I mean, I'm just saying. I've already said my points. Okay, he has a dog shit team around him, and he's still good. He's the guy, Ben. He's the guy.
Sure.
Okay, and we have Dallas. Okay,
around him.
Yeah, but I mean, look, he brought him to the playoffs last year.
But he had a better offensive line. I think an offensive line is more potent than good receivers.
I'm just saying. I think that first game against Washington was a fluke.
Was a fluke. Okay.
And I got Dallas at 9-7 right after him. Mm-hmm. Right? Because I mean, I don't think Dak Prescott is it, but
I don't think he's the guy.
I don't think he's the guy. But,
I think Andy Dalton's the guy in Dallas.
They have the weapons. Andy Dalton is most certainly the guy, and Andy Dalton will be starting by the end of the season. I will tell you that much.
Oh.
He's proven himself in
Wait, fellas. We have a guest. Fellas. Ryan Cody is in the waiting room.
Get him in here.
Oh, welcome, Ryan.
Steel Curtain Cody coming in.
We were just discussing the NFC East. We were rounding off our prediction.
For next week?
No, for the season.
Oh, so I thought we're doing season predictions, or I thought we were doing weekly predictions.
No.
What topic are we on?
You think Carson Wentz is the guy, Cody?
Carson Wentz has proven day and night he is not the guy.
He is not the guy. Thank you.
Oh my!
We're 2-2 now.
I expected
more.
He is not the guy.
That everyone thinks so high of this man. He has performed nothing in the playoffs. I don't want to hear he set the Eagles up. Tom Brady came in, won the Super Bowl when he was set up by God knows who, and he's shown that he's the GOAT. Carson Wentz has done absolutely nothing, and he's not the guy.
All right, let me give you a follow-up question. You think Dak Prescott's the guy?
Do I think Dak Prescott is a little more valuable to the franchise? I do. I think Dak Prescott is more valuable to the Cowboys franchise than Carson Wentz is to the Eagles franchise. I said it.
He said it.
I mean, look at what Carson Wentz has done with a shitty team around him, and then what Dak Prescott has done with this hyped-up team around him. And he hasn't led him to the playoffs.
Listen, I get the Cowboys get hyped up, but the Cowboys are a Zeke and Dak team. That's the team they are. The Eagles, Carson Wentz, that Nick Foles come in, wins Super Bowl, that Nick Foles gone. Next thing you know, what are the Eagles doing? Absolutely nothing.
Well, what's
nothing.
Nick Foles doing?
Nick Foles is doing nothing. He's making $20 million on the bench.
Yeah.
Here's my issue with the whole Wentz thing. I haven't seen personally Wentz's great improvement over the past years since he's entered the league. Rookie season, all right, that's whatever. I give everyone benefit of the doubt then.
Yeah.
But since then, his fundamentals, he has changed the way he's thrown and where he's not following through as much, and that has heavily impacted his throws. He still holds on to the ball too long and doesn't throw it away and gets sacked for 15, who knows how many yards.
8 sacks, and now he's got a mean Aaron Donald about to eat him up next week.
I guess I just don't see improvement where I think he should be improved.
Okay.
I agree.
And then,
I agree.
And then for
Got
me,
our points
the
out.
Giants and the fucking Redskins, you could argue all day about who's worse. End of the day, they're both fucking dog shit and they're going nowhere. So they're not even relevant. I don't even want to.
Whoa, wait,
Which one's better?
wait.
Come on,
Hold
let's
up,
talk about
wait a minute, guys. I think you're throwing the Redskins under the bus.
Listen,
Their
wait,
defense looks
not-
solid out there.
Not the Redskins.
Look, Chase Young looks sad. Don't get me wrong. He looks pretty
Listen,
sad.
I'm not saying Dwayne Haskins is that or that. He's Dwayne Haskins. He's not good. But the Redskins showed everyone.
For Ron Rivera, too. I think he did a great
That's
job
exactly,
when he was
Ben,
in Carolina.
Wait,
Ben,
fellas,
I
I'm gonna have
100%
to
agree.
cut you off real
Ron
quick.
Rivera is he is changing that culture from grabbing butts to making TDs and
Agree
getting
with
sacks.
that, but I'm gonna have to cut you off real quick. I actually crashed, so I don't know if the recording. It says it's recording now, but it might have cut off.
Hey,
So,
it says
so
it's
what you guys
recording,
what did you guys just say for like the past like 30 seconds?
We're on
Ron Rivera, we were talking about.
Ron Rivera. I love Ron
agree.
Rivera.
I'm gonna have to agree with Ryan here. I think he is changing the culture for the better.
And I'm actually bouncing off of Ben that we just said Ron Rivera came in there,
Yeah.
beat the Eagles, beat Doug Peterson, just showed them what's up. He's a better coach. I said it. Ron Rivera is a better coach.
Okay.
He's going to change that culture, and he's going to make a team of garbage into something. I do believe it. Whether that's 8-8, whether that's 7-8, he's going to make it. He's going to make an improvement in that culture.
I think he's gonna make an improvement, but not that much. I think they're going 5-11.
Well, I don't know. I think the football team, as they're called, can win the division. After that week 1
I
performance,
think it's too early to tell.
I think it's the NFC least, so I think anyone could win this division. If we're being real.
exactly.
That's fair.
I do not see the Giants winning. I will say,
Yeah.
I don't see the Giants winning. The Cowboys and Eagles are in the mix, but I think it's going to be between the Cowboys and the Redskins.
Okay.
Wow, that's a bold.
That is a hot take. That is a hot take.
Throwing that out there.
Do you guys want to move on to another division?
Sure.
Go for it, Michael.
All right.
Have we talked about?
We've just
We're-
done NFC East.
Okay. What about the AFC North? That's a pretty spicy division.
Ooh, I am excited for the AFC North
All right.
right
The
now.
AFC North.
I don't think it's very exciting.
I do. I think the
two
AFC
teams
North.
are pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's just
Two-
two teams though.
2 exciting teams and 2 shit teams.
Exactly.
And what's going on with Burrow? Though I thought he was going to come in with a cigar.
It's his first game.
It's his.
I get it.
Against
think
an
he did
okay
well.
defense.
That's fair.
I
But
think
the
he did well in his
Browns,
first game.
You blame it on Reggie Bullock, the kicker that game.
Yeah.
What about the Browns, though?
Browns, I think they're a
Another year of
disappointment again.
disappointment. Yeah.
Another disappointment. Lots of talent.
They're in
lots
limbo.
Lots
right
of
now. They're not
talent.
going
Lots in
anywhere.
Odell.
Mhm.
Odell, I
Odell.
mean, he's too busy letting ladies shit on him.
Yeah,
He
let's
should
just
start
talk
catching
about
the
let's
football.
just talk about
what?
that real quick.
Wait, what?
Didn't
Let's talk about that.
True.
What
Odell.
happened?
Odell, listen, here's my take on that. Odell is a social media menace, whether it's complaining, whether it's going to social media to say stuff. And this pooping on his chest thing is what is karma. It's
What?
biting him in the
Wait,
butt.
I have not heard about this.
Give him the scoop, Jim.
Well, I mean, basically, this lady, nice lady, she came out and she said that Odell Beckham likes when ladies poop on his chest. He asked her to poop on his chest.
Yeah.
I
can't tell you if she did, but that's what she said.
It's come out in social media. Everyone's talking about it. No one really knows if it's true.
Yeah.
But people are saying it could be, and it's not a good look for poor Odell.
I think it's a fine look, honestly. I think having the courage to get a
Pooped on.
Cleveland steamer. Huh. Imagine that.
A good old
Listen.
Cleveland Browns.
That sounds all good and everything, but when you lose 38-6, it's not good. It's just poop.
Yeah.
It's two poops.
Well, they're not
Two
throwing
poops, one
to
man.
What do you think the problem is with the Browns?
Baker.
I think the Browns is Baker. Baker's coming in just like Johnny
Attitude.
Football.
Everybody's attitude. Man.
Right.
Attitude.
Yeah. Bad
Too much talent. You got bad culture. You got fucking the helmet incident last year. Just the Browns being the Browns.
Well, it was what's his face's fault.
Miles Garrett.
Miles Garrett.
No.
Oh, Mason Rudy's.
Yeah.
Okay, you can say it's Mason.
Come
You
on.
can say, listen, Michael. You can say it's Mason Rudolph's fault. They were crushing the Steelers in that game. There was no need for it, and he got suspended and cost his team more games after that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I agree.
Well, at the end of the day, I have Cincinnati and Cleveland both going 6-10. I got the Steelers
Wow.
10-6, and I got Baltimore 13-3 for the AFC North.
I think you're giving the Browns and the Bengals too much credit.
I don't know.
I think you're giving
I have Browns going 4-12 and Bengals going 3-13.
Wow.
Look, the thing about the Browns is they're mediocre. They're not terrible. They have pieces. They're not going to win any, go to the playoffs or anything, but they're going to win games. I mean, they're not built to lose.
Yeah, I got the Browns for the next couple years just being around from 5-11 to 9-7, and just in that range, not getting any better or worse.
I put them on the lower side.
I got them at 6-10 this year.
I always think it's better to not believe in the Browns because they just always disappoint.
Here's the one thing I'll say with the AFC North. Before we count out the Ravens dominating the division, the AFC North has historically always been a bitter division where the teams in that division beat each other off random bullshit. Yeah. It happens. So
true.
do not count out the Steelers facing the Ravens and having – I'm not saying it's been only 1 week. They both are 1-0, but they're going to have blood draws. Even the Browns are going to give the Steelers – I'm telling it's for their whole rivalry. They've been close games. Even last year, when the Steelers were nowhere near looking as good, they were close games for some of the games.
Oh,
the
yeah,
Bengals,
absolutely.
and don't be surprised if the Bengals just slip a crazy one on the Ravens either. I can see it happening. Okay. I'm not going to give the Ravens an automatic. They're going to win the division. I'm not. I know I'm Steel Curtain Cody, and I love the Steelers, but I'm not going to give the Ravens just that guarantee win. I think it's looking like it. They're very dominant. They're the best team since 2000, the Ravens, and it's looking like they're going to win the division, but I'm not going to just put it as clear as Kansas City, for example.
Yeah, I mean, I have Steelers. I have Ravens at 14-2 and Steelers at 11-5, but Steelers would be the wild card team for me. So.
For sure.
In my case, that is true as well.
That is in my case as well.
I'm high on the Steelers, man. They didn't have Big Ben, and fucking Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph almost led them to the playoffs.
The Steelers
is back, and I think it's back to form.
The Steelers did one thing last game, and that was, okay, everyone was checking. Is this defense going to hold up? Is Big Ben going to do good? Is Juju the guy? They answered all those questions, I believe. I think they did. I think they answered. Big Ben threw great, no picks. 3 TDs, Juju 2 TDs, fucking defense
they
looks
need to
solid.
answer the James Conner problem.
And then, listen, the James Conner has been an ongoing issue, and what happened to him, answered the question on him. Is he going to continue with injuries? And it looks like he is. But Snell took over, got 100 yards. The Steelers can rotate running backs since Le'Veon, they've been kind of like up in the air with running backs. So I'm thinking that's not going to throw the team off tremendously.
Yeah, a decent running back is really easy to find these days, so I don't think it should be a problem, especially when they have like so many other offensive weapons they can use. So. And
I'm thinking James Washington's really maturing, improving out there, giving Juju some more time, more space, and they're looking dangerous. They're looking dangerous.
Even Deontay's looking good out there too.
Deontay is looking good. The Steelers, nice little Ebron pickup. I like that pickup a lot. He's going to be a nice little weapon for them. I don't know if their tight end game was as strong as when they had like a Heath Miller, but nice pickup and nice another weapon.
All right.
I got some very similar predictions to everyone here. I got the Ravens winning the division, but I agree with Cody that it's not going to be easy. I'm also high on the Steelers like everyone else. I got Ravens at 13-3. But with that 13-3, I got 2 of those losses to the Steelers.
Ooh,
I
that
got.
would
I'm the
be
same
both
here.
teams.
Same here, Ben.
I think it's going to be. I think the Steelers' defense that's basically what kept them in the game last year, and now they got some offensive pieces back. I think Micah Fitzpatrick was a huge pickup last year.
huge pickup. Huge.
Pickup,
Yeah.
and I really think that it's going to be a very competitive two-dog race between those two.
Mhm.
Behind them, I got the Browns at 6-10, the Bengals at 5-11. I'm a little high on Joe Burrow. I seen him play at LSU.
He's got
Really
a high
impressed
ceiling.
me. He's got a high ceiling. I don't think he's there yet, obviously. But I don't see them being that much worse than the Browns, honestly.
Mhm.
Same with me. I mean, they got A.J. Green back. They have Joe Mixon, one of the top running backs in the league. If they get things running, I think they can obviously not going to make the playoffs, but they're going to win some games compared to
the Browns were a big disappointment like they always – I'm not saying they were going to go in and beat the Ravens, but getting blown out like that, just a really big disappointment. Because, you know the Ravens are good. You're not really getting a good read on the Ravens. You're getting a read the Browns are the Browns again.
Mhm.
Hate what they did, and I'm just
We want to
disgusted
talk
by them.
about who's the guy. Baker Mayfield is not the guy.
Baker Mayfield's
Correct.
not the guy.
Yeah.
He can get in commercials. I'll give him that.
Oh, that's so annoying. It's so especially he's it's just doing so poorly, and then the next commercial is Baker Mayfield. Like, why?
It's just what
It's not warranted. And he's saying too in the commercials, like, "Oh, you guys said I was in too many commercials." It's like, yeah. It's been 3 years. I think it's
I think it's time to.
This is his last chance, but I don't think it's gonna happen. All right, next division. Any suggestions?
I say we know with the AFC. Well, I think we tackle the AFC East.
All right.
Do it.
Let's talk about this Patriots and Cam.
All right, let me say something here.
Tell him, G. Tell him, Jaguars.
Josh Allen is taking the division. It's up for grabs, and if Josh Allen wants it and he's getting it, they're going 12-4.
I have him at 11-5.
11-5.
I think they're definitely the favorite to win.
I'm with Ben over here. Ben, what was yours? Was 10-.
I got 10-6 for the Bills.
I'm with Ben. I think the Bills are the Bills, and they're gonna. I mean, I get it. Stephon Diggs, no nice pickup, but I don't know. I think it's gonna be I think the AFC East is gonna be very interesting this year.
I completely agree with you. I think this year, now that Brady has left the Pats, I think we're really going to see why I think Bill Belichick is like the greatest coach. I think he's going to do a really good job with Cam, and I think Cam is coming with a vengeance. And I actually also have the Pats going 10-6, which is a lot higher than a lot of people have.
Okay.
But
That's a little high.
Even though they lost some defensemen in the off season, they still have a strong secondary. I got the Bills at 10-6 too, because obviously the acquisition of Diggs, I think, will keep them at their. They were 10-6 last year, I believe. Can anyone check me on that?
I don't.
I'll check you right now.
All right.
They were 10-6 last year, correct?
Perfect. So I got them staying consistent, but that maybe playoffs will lead to a different result, but I'll save that talk for another time.
I think, with the Patriots beating the Dolphins, we saw Cam, we saw a different style, but I'm not going to just say the Patriots are going to win this division. If the Bills, I would love to see the Josh Allen Bills take the division. I would love to see it. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know if I have a great read on the Pats just beating the Dolphins 21-11. I mean, okay. It's the Dolphins. I wasn't expecting much from them anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you have Cam Newton, and I think it's a good fit. I think he plays a lot more like Tom Brady than people think, but he also doesn't really have anyone to throw to. I mean, they didn't really upgrade in that department.
Is Cam Newton a crybaby, though? Let's talk about the controversy and the chain grabbing.
What?
I don't think Bill Belichick is a big attitude fan of.
He is definitely,
and I think that's going to eventually show.
Mm-hmm.
Like when was the last time you had a Tom Brady incident like this with the media with the chain grabbing? How many times did I hear about this chain grabbing on Shannon and Skip and Undisputed? It's like, okay, it's just more Cam talking attitude. I mean, on the social media. Tom Brady wasn't like that. It's not the Patriots culture. Is it gonna affect the gameplay? I'm not sure.
It could. I mean, that's why I have Patriots at the second. I have Bills at 11-5, and then Pats going 9-7.
Ooh,
I got the Pats at 8-8.
Wow, that's
I don't think Cam
that's a
Newton
hot
can.
take, Jaguar G.
Look, I'm saying right here, right. Look, Bill Belichick, I don't think is it without Tom Brady. I also don't think Tom Brady is it without.
I don't think Bill Belichick.
We'll talk about that later.
We will talk about that later.
I think Bill Belichick is going 8-8 with Cam Newton.
You're gonna owe me a box of cigars after you eat those words.
Okay, I'll eat those words.
You'll eat those cigars. What about the Dolphins and Jets, boys? I have the Dolphins going 7-9, and the Jets actually were my worst team at 1-15.
Wow.
I might be a little too brutal,
Wow.
but when I run the numbers, when I crunch them, I think 115 is possible. Definitely, it might be a little bold, but that's how we do it here on the Weekly Bool. You know.
I don't know, Michael. You're gonna a Jets team that went 7-9 last year, and you're gonna tell them they're 1-15 this year.
They did lose Robbie Anderson, but I mean, I don't think it's gonna be that much worse.
It's just. I just wasn't.
They also lost Jamal Adams.
I thought I was harsh marking them at 4-12.
They don't have a good running back, and I mean, I don't know. I just don't think it's going to be. I think there's just something about the Jets this year. It gives me a bad taste in my mouth, you know. Adam Gase is the worst coach. I think Sam Darnold has potential with a good team.
I think the Dolphins are taking the bottom of the totem pole in this division
really
once again.
You think so?
I think the Dolphins.
I strongly disagree with that. I think the Dolphins have improved a lot this year. I mean, with the amount of first-round picks they had, and I think Brian Flores is one of the best coaches right now.
Yeah, I think the Dolphins probably had one of the best drafts in the previous draft. I think I got the Dolphins going 6-10. Now, given I have one or two of those wins solely due to Fitzmagic. I mean, he's still the starting QB down there, and it's given every year.
Fitzmagic was long gone.
And then I got the Jets.
Fitzmagic just comes and goes.
Yeah. And then I got the Jets at 4-12. Now, that may seem a little low to some, a little high to others. But when I think of these two teams at the bottom of the AFC East, I think of potential. I think they're each 2 or 3 picks away from becoming a playoff team. They just need a couple more pieces, and I think they're there. I think the Jets greatly improved on the offensive line with their pick of Mekhi Becton in the first round. I don't see them there yet. I still have them low records, but I think they're just each a couple pieces away.
Fair. I think the Patriots. My take for the AFC East. I think the Bills are gonna do pretty good. Give the Patriots a run for the money. It's going to be tough to say. I think the Pats are going to take the division, though.
Don't say it.
The Pats are going to take the division. I think they're going to take the division. Belichick knows how to win. I want to see more Cam. I want to see more. You know, he was looking like Cam out there. I want to see more of prime Cam. And if I see more of that, I see a Patriots team winning the division again. But I also see a Patriots team at the whims of the Chiefs and the Ravens and possibly even the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean, if they make
and the Titans too. Don't forget those Titans.
Yeah, I mean,
we're going to talk about those Titans.
Oh, we're going to talk about this. Best for last.
I have a lot to say about this.
Best for last. AFC South. Best for last.
Okay.
Are we any other takes on the AFC East? Or are we going to move down to the West?
Ready to
move. Let's go West. Yeah.
With the
AFC
West
or NFC?
We can make a jump to NFC.
Yeah.
Right. NFC West, really good division.
NFC West, very interesting. The NFC West, very, very, very interesting.
Yes, it is.
I'm interested in in hearing what you guys think of my first pick for the NFC West. I have the Cardinals.
Me too.
NFC West.
I do too.
What?
How dare you?
What?
Cardinals.
Wow.
I have them at the very bottom by 4.
Carson Wentz Cole. That's his name. Carson Wentz Cole.
No.
Get that. Oof, you're gonna owe me a lot of donuts for that pick. I'm gonna freaking
What record do you have in that?
I got him at
11-4.
11-4-1.
No fucking shit.
Give
What?
me a break.
It's Kyler Murray's
listen,
second year, and I
Kyler
think rookies.
Murray looks.
Kyler Murray wasn't
looking
even the best
okay.
rookie QB out there last season.
Dude, this NFC West is versing. We're at the 49ers. Like, I mean, 0-1.
The Cardinals just beat the 49ers.
I know. I get it. But listen, they're going to be a good team again. They have most of their pieces. The Seahawks, you got an MVP Russell Wilson out there. You got the Rams still very dangerous. The Cardinals are not coming in from the bottom just because they have D-Hop and a sophomore season Kyler, and they're not going to dominate this division. I'm sorry. I'm putting my foot down for that
I'll
one.
make you eat those words, pal. Okay?
I'm putting my foot down.
No
for that
words.
one.
The only person eating their words will be you.
Wow, great comeback. Great. Good job.
You guys are not going to like my West predictions. I got the Cardinals like my 11-4-1. Next, I got
you guys got to watch the games.
Next, I got the Seahawks at 10-5-1. I got them tied with the Cardinals.
Wow.
Then I got the Rams at 8-8. And then in last, I have the NFC East, the NFC champs, the 49ers at 7-9.
No way.
Hey, there's the Super Bowl hangover. Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't think he's not gonna make magic happen twice, you know.
I see the Rams taking the bottom of the division. I see the Cardinals right in front of them. I'm thinking I'm gonna give them a little. I'm thinking like 8-8, 9-7, 8-8, 9-7.
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking for the Cardinals. This Kyler hype is out of control. This Kyler hype. I can't. And then you got, I'll put the Seahawks win the division. They look dominant. Russell Wilson is once again looking like he could be an MVP guy. He's healthy.
Team.
And watch the Seahawks pick up they might pick up a crazy Antonio Brown mid-season. Talk about that. We'll talk about that later. And then I got the 49ers coming in second. Their defense is still one of the best in the league. They had a hiccup against the Cardinals. It was a hiccup. I think personally it was a hiccup. And Jimmy G is going to come back, win a lot of games. We're talking about previous Super Bowl hangover. Give me a break. They're still the 49ers, and they're still going to take second division, at least make the playoffs.
I do have them as my wild card team, the 49ers. I have Cardinals first, then Seahawks at 11-5. 49ers, I also had them at 11-5.
Do you think that Cardinals team is gonna take down Russell Wilson? You must be smoking methamphetamine.
I just have a feeling. I have a good feeling, and I'm normally good about this kind of stuff. Okay. And
babyface Kyler is not defeating.
And they gave every team in the NFC a run for their money last year when they were a lot
They did.
worse.
That is true. They kept in every game nearly.
And they lost. D-Hop, D-Quad.
They lost because they
Drake.
needed people, and now they got some better weapons. And I think Kyler Murray's got more experience. I think the sophomore year, I think that's a real thing.
Okay. I've heard enough.
I mean, and if we can't agree on the Cardinals, which is fine, I think
we will never agree.
it's really up for grabs.
They're gonna owe me a box of donuts when fucking Kyler goes crying away.
When did we make this deal for donuts?
Right. When you started saying ridiculous things.
Listen, I got the Seattle Seahawks taking this division by storm.
100%.
I have them tied with the best record in the NFL at 14-2.
Wow.
Ooh.
And then
that's not as crazy as saying.
It's not a hot take. Russell Wilson looked like an MVP last year. He's looking like an MVP this year.
Not only did he do that, I'm high on DK Metcalf too. I think he's gonna be his next top weapon. He
only runs slants.
And not to mention Josh Gordon's back for his 11th time.
Yeah.
Josh Gordon,
maybe he'll stay off the weed.
He stays off the weed. He's a weapon. He's a weed weapon if he stays off the weed.
Maybe he needs to go on the weed. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe time just slowed down and he could just grab balls better.
The Seahawks are dominant. I'm with you guys on that. They are going to be a force to reckon with in the NFC.
Every team is, or at least in the West.
I mean, the South is looking pretty weak if we make a jump to there.
NFC South.
The South.
Weak.
I have.
Let's say,
Look at
listen,
that.
besides the dominant Saints team, which what I meant. I meant the
I
Saints
think-
dominate.
Yeah.
I think the
Tom
Buccaneers
Brady.
are going to come into their own.
Oh,
I
think
Buccaneers are
going
gonna
to
beat the
there. Carson Cole. I disagree there.
What do you have? What do you have the Bucs
I got Buccaneers 12-4.
Oh,
Get out of
my
here.
Saints
Oh,
11-5.
my
A
I'm
wild
gonna
card
be a
team.
fat guy getting all the data from you.
Falcons at 6-10 and Panthers at 3-13.
Oh,
But that
Wow.
doesn't matter. I think the Buccaneers, they're going to come into their own. I think Tom Brady.
oh my God.
I think it's his first week back. I mean, they have that rough preseason. He's with a new team. He's under Bruce Arians' offense, which is the most complicated offense. Like, the playbook is the most complicated in the league right now. It's very pass heavy. It's very hard to learn. That's why Jameis Winston had 30 and 30 last year. I think they're gonna surprise some people, and I think their defense is really coming to their own as well. So
Okay. Hear me. Listen, the most I'm gonna give the Saints. I'm gonna go 12-4 for the Saints, and I'm gonna go Buccaneers. Like just because you're craziness, I'll give them 9-7, 9-7, just because you're craziness. I had the Panthers down, going 4-12. I had the Buccaneers. Not the Buccaneers, the Falcons, probably 7-9, 7-9. Maybe fair, maybe 6-10.
Me
Okay,
and Cody almost
that's
have
fair.
the same exact predictions here. I mean, Drew
You got the-
Brees,
you
obviously,
got the Saints
he's gonna
looking
breeze.
good.
He's gonna breeze.
Saints
But-
choke. They choke every year. And I don't think
Is Michael Thomas hurt? Or am I?
He is
Michael
hurt.
Thomas
He is
is
hurt.
hurt. Yeah.
That's gonna
For
be
a couple weeks.
that's gonna be a little. That's why I'm a little 12-4, maybe 11-5. But I have the Saints winning the division. I have the Saints not struggling in this division whatsoever.
Well, I mean, I don't think they're going to struggle at all. I think they're going to be a wild card team, but I think the Bucks are
The
going to give them
Saints?
a run for their money. And I think as they come into their own, as the season goes on, I think the Bucks are going to get a lot better.
I have the Bucks missing the playoffs. I don't see them. This Tom Brady Gronk nonsense. They can enjoy the sun, tan all they want, but they are. The league is past Tom Brady.
Maybe I'm a little
43-year-old Tom Brady.
biased because of where I am right now, but
Oh.
Okay.
All right, boys. I'll let you know what I got.
all right, yeah, Ben.
I
Let's
got
hear it,
the
Ben.
Saints at 11-5. I got Saints winning the
Okay.
division.
Okay.
I got actually have the Falcons at 10-6.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well, but possible.
6?
Hot take.
Now contingent on
Hot.
Todd Gurley staying healthy and
Mm.
Julio Jones getting at least one pass catch touchdown, but who knows if that will happen. Next, I got the Bucks at 8-8.
Okay.
I think
Fair.
I think they're just going to be mediocre. I think there's
Fair.
still a lot of holes that need to be filled on
Mhm.
that team. And then
think-
last,
Like what? Where?
I think the
Running
Bucks.
back. For
think the
one,
Bucks-
running back.
The
Running
Bucks are
back.
getting. Dude, the Bucks are getting the Brown syndrome.
I think they are
They
too.
are.
I think they're overhyped. They're
You
the
see them on
Browns.
paper, they're this dream team, fucking Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Gronk, who's
Gronk coming
hasn't
out of,
played.
They're the
Yeah.
Sixers of the
Tom
of
Brady,
the NFL.
40-something.
43. Like, come on now.
I
Come
mean,
on,
what,
man.
Leonard Fournette?
How?
Tell
What
him
is he going to do?
Jaguars,
Average
Jay. Tell him
fucking a
Jaguars, Jay.
yard of fucking carry again? He's horrible.
Unreal.
He's not the
Unreal.
answer.
It's just
Then-
like the Steelers. Running backs, they're not important. They're not that important when you have all these other
Well-
weapons, and they do. I think you guys are just like blinded by history of like things just not panning out because like they get overhyped. I think it can happen.
To be fair,
Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time. You can't deny that.
best quarterback of all time, but this is the end of his time. Possibly his last year.
I think last year it wasn't his fault that he did.
Look at Michael Jordan going to the Wizards. We don't talk about it, but it happened.
Well, look at Joe Montana going to the Chiefs.
I mean, Joe Montana didn't play when he was 43, though.
Look at Peyton Manning going to the Broncos. They're still old people. It's not that much older.
Peyton Manning and the Broncos, once again, there was a few years with the Broncos. This is Tom's first year. He's 43. Like, it's a little different. I think I'll give him 8-8.
Yeah.
I think at best they somehow, if they can beat the Falcons in the division, squeak and a wild card. Squeak one, but that is slim. We are slim. Like, you got the NFC West, brutal. You got the Packers and Bears and Vikings. They're going to be brutal, too, to get that wild card spot. And, you got the East. We talked about the East, and it's like the Buccaneers right now are not in a good spot. I don't know. I still give them a little leeway. They played, a dominant Saints team that's been dominant for years, so okay. I would like to see them against, the Falcons, against teams like the Bears, the Vikings, the Rams, and maybe we can start seeing how they compare up. But, they got dominated. Can we all agree on that? They got dominated.
Oh, we can agree on that.
Can I give a little love to the Panthers, too? I know you guys had the Panthers pretty low. I got the Panthers at 6-10, which is still not great. But I think it's a lot better than some of people are predicting. One of the reasons
I think I was pretty hard on the Panthers.
Is another coach I'm high on is Matt Rule. I know this is his first year.
Yeah.
I saw him play at Temple, and then when he went to Baylor, and I really like him. I think he's a good coach. I like Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback during these times. I don't think he may be the guy, but I think him and McCaffrey, I think that's enough to give him 6 wins.
I think Teddy Bridgewater is very much an upgrade from Cam Newton.
Really?
I said it.
Okay. Late.
And,
okay. Cam Newton in the past few years, recently, yes, but prime Cam,
Prime Cam is just fucking MVP. I mean,
of course.
I'm not comparing. I'm comparing.
Now?
Later years of Cam.
Later, he was injured. That's the issue. I mean, as long as
but even like last season, I mean, they have the best running back in the league, and Cam Newton still couldn't really get anything done. I mean, I think Teddy Bridgewater is a nice upgrade. They got a nice 3-headed wide receiver.
Cam Newton didn't play very much,
Speaking
right?
of just a quick C-Mac, we got to give C-Mac some love here. I think C-Mac is in a shitty situation, like his old pal Saquon. We have unbelievable players in a very terrible situations, and I hate to see it. I really do.
The thing about the Panthers is they have a pretty tough schedule, so that's why I was kind of hard on them. But I could see them doing better if they had an easier schedule. And I mean, they gave the Raiders a run for their money. It was like a high-scoring game, pretty entertaining. They probably would have won if they gave the ball to Easy Mac.
I mean, their offense is there. It's their defense that I'm worried about. Losing Kuechly, all that. I mean, it already wasn't great.
Big piece.
Yeah, but
and going back to Matt Rule, like he's a good coach and he's good at turning teams around, like bad teams, and making them good. But I mean, Temple, it took him a while to make Temple good. It took Baylor. It took him a while to make Baylor good. It took him a couple years. I think that's why. I think the general manager, or the owner, whoever hired him, I don't know. But I think he's got the right idea because he's a good coach for a rebuilding team. But I think the Panthers, further down the road, they'll be a force to be reckoned with. But right now, they're at the bottom.
Right now, they're gonna hang. They're gonna hang low at the bottom of the division, and we're gonna see Mac is wasting the prime years of his life. Hate to see it.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. I want to hear your opinions on the NFC North and what's happening here. Because for me, there's an obvious answer.
I have
my easy answer is the Packers taking it.
Yeah.
The Packers are back. Yep. Aaron Rodgers looking dirty again. Devontae Adams is great weapon. The Bears. The Bears squeaked out a win. I don't see that. I don't. All right, listen. I'm putting the Lions bottom of the division. Who's agreeing with me?
I am
disagree.
There with
you disagreeing?
Really?
Ooh, that's my hot
Let's
take.
hear it.
I have the Packers at 10-6.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have both the Lions and the Vikings at 8-8.
Okay.
Yes, me too. Yeah.
And I have the Bears at 5-11.
Oh, very similar. I got the Packers 11-5. I got both the Vikings and Lions at 9-7. And then I got the Bears at 5-11.
Wow. Yeah, very similar.
I'm a little different here. I'm gonna agree with Ben with the Packers at 11-5. I'm gonna put the Bears at 9-7. I'm gonna put the Vikings at 7-9, and I'm putting the Lions at 5-10.
You put the Bears at 9-7.
But the Bears at 9 and
Bears
7.
at 9 and 7.
Whoa.
Mhm.
Let's hear
Hey,
this reason.
Trubisky at quarterback? I don't know.
Trubisky's not going to be quarterback by the end of the season.
Listen,
gonna
you
be
got
Foles.
you got Foles and Trubisky. I mean, I personally want to see Foles get some action for all that dough. You got, Khalil Mack. He's still there. The Bears, they're gonna give the Bears I see the Bears possibly being the Packers. They give the Packers, run for their money. They're the Bears. I see the Vikings with losing some pieces. Kirk Cousins not getting it done. Still getting some wins. I can give the Vikings 8-8. I'll give the Vikings 8-8, and I do not see this Lions team. I do not see Stafford. DeAndre Swift.
They should have won the last game.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. They were 3-12 last year.
They didn't.
I'm giving them 5-10. That's an improvement.
They were 3-12 because they didn't have Stafford.
All right.
Okay.
At most, I'll give them. Let's hear it.
I got Green Bay leading the charge, 11-5. And I got Chicago and Minnesota 8-8, but I'm more excited to see this Chicago team play than the Minnesota team. I'll tell you that much. They have more upside. And then Detroit 5-11. I'm with Cody. Like, what's DeAndre Swift gonna do? He's the only new acquisition.
It's Detroit. We're talking about Detroit, man.
Well,
they
that's
did
why
lose Darius Slay too.
It's Detroit. Yeah, Detroit. They can do well, but they just the thing about Detroit is they never make it when it counts. They're still going to go 8-8 for me, and they're not going to be a wow. But they're going to finish second in the division.
The Vikings. Listen, I'll admit the Vikings or Bears. It could be a toss-up for second. On this Detroit team, I do not see them climbing this ladder. No way, Jose. Stafford's never done it, and he never will.
They were undefeated before Matt Stafford got injured for like 5 games, besides the one tie with the Cardinals.
You're not wrong.
But you look at the Steelers though. They're on their third string QB and they go 8-8 or 7. You know what I mean? Like it's like they just are not the team to do it. They're not the team to do it.
Steelers, they're different than the Lions. The Steelers
are very, very true. But I'm talking about culture, the team build. Detroit's the bottom of the pack here. You still got Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. You got Thielen. Kirk Cousins. As much as I think he's a choke artist, he is gonna get wins. And the Bears. I'm a little biased. I think the Bears are a hard-nosed team, and I think they just are gonna hang around.
I just don't think they're gonna make enough plays to beat anybody of importance. They got a great defense, but that's not going to do anything if they can't score points.
I think it all depends on how quickly they pull Trubisky out. Because I'm very low on Trubisky. I don't think he's it. And I think if they keep him in for half the season, their season's gone. If he's in there for the next 2 games and then they pull him, I think they got a chance at least.
His career might, at least as a starter, might be done if he doesn't deliver this season, and I don't think he will. And I think it was a really good move, honestly, on the Bears franchise to put in Mitch Trubisky, because if he delivers, then they look like geniuses. 'Cause they're starting him over Nick Foles, and if he doesn't,
I think they're overpaying Nick Foles, of course, though.
Well, yeah, I agree. But
that could be a franchise. That could be a playoff mistake. Which is why I did put the Bears taking it over the Vikings, but I can believe the Vikings could easily trump that and win, but that's just not what I think.
All right, boys. Should we move to the AFC West?
Yeah, AFC West. Okay.
Maybe.
All right. So I got this division as somewhat, other than the obvious, somewhat close among the other teams. I got the Chiefs winning. The record's 11-5, which may be low.
Whoa.
I got them 11-5. Next I got the Raiders actually.
Okay, I like that. I like it.
I'm high on Josh Jacobs. I think Derek Carr isn't horrible. It's just who he's around. I like the draft of Henry Ruggs. I think he's going to be good, and Waller's still there. Next, I got the Chargers at 7-9. I think they're just going to be a mediocre team. I'm not too high on Tyrod Taylor either. And then I got the Broncos in last, actually,
Wow.
at 6-10.
Mm-hmm.
Need your thoughts.
Well, I got Chiefs 13-3.
I agree. I agree.
But I got Broncos coming in second at
Okay.
10-6.
Wow.
Oh,
Drew Lock.
that's
Drew
a
Lock.
hot take.
It's hot, and you know what? They're going to be a wild card team too.
Okay.
No,
This
is not
sir,
happening.
no.
I think with how they played against the Titans, I think that kind of reaffirms how I feel. Titans are still a good team, and the fact that they were able to make it a close game, a good game, and I think they got a great defense. They got a lot of new weapons. I think Drew Lock is a promising young quarterback, and I mean I don't think they're going to get very far after the wild card rounds, but I got them at second and 10-6. I got the Raiders. I think I went too hard on the Raiders just because they have such a history of failing. I put them at 6-10.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But Chargers, I think they're going to do a lot worse than what Ben's
Okay.
at 13.
No.
I mean, if it was that close to the Bengals, then I don't think they're going to be competitive. I mean, and Justin Herbert was such an awful pick. I just don't see them doing better than bad. I mean, I don't think they're going to do mediocre even. And I mean, plus, like, just as a culture, it's just such a fucking sorry excuse for a franchise, and they're probably going to move to Mexico City one day anyways.
Well, I got Kansas City, one of the best records at 14-2.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I don't even think that's debatable. I don't know how Ben puts them at 11-5.
Ben.
Who are they losing to?
That's a Big Ben. I don't know what that is, Big Ben.
You know what it is? I put them at 11-5 just because
Who are they losing to? Who's like? I really don't know who's beating the Chiefs all those times.
I got it boiling down to it being football, and who knows what each game is. I still think, don't get me wrong, I think that I got the Chiefs going far in the playoffs, but I just see there being a couple flukes here and there. I also got injuries.
Mm-hmm.
You can always account for them too for taking people out.
Mm-hmm.
If you get some of their offensive weapons injured or some of their key defensive players, I mean, that could affect the game. So I got them at 11-5, but that doesn't mean that their record affects how good of a team they are.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And well, here is where you guys may not agree with me, because for the wild card, I got the Chargers.
Whoa.
I got them going 9-7, and I think Tyrod Taylor is the guy.
No way.
I'm not gonna agree with you, but I'm not throwing. I'm putting the Chargers at 6-10, 7-9 at best. And I got the Raiders at 9-7, taking the second spot, and I got the Broncos at 5-11 at the bottom.
Okay, yeah, I can agree that the Broncos are far at the bottom.
The Broncos are. I mean, I think it's the Raiders. His big move. He got Gruden. I like Gruden. I think he's gonna. Derek Carr. I think they're finally getting their swing a little bit.
Well, I don't even think
Jacobs.
Gruden believes in Derek Carr personally. I mean, why would you throw so much money at Mark Mariota? I think that's a good indicator of
But just like the Bears, I mean, Mark Mariota, Derek Carr, I still think they're getting wins. I think Josh Jacobs is coming in. He could be the answer they needed. I see the Chargers. You still got fucking
Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler. They got weapons, and they
you still got weapons.
Defense.
Well, where were they week 1? Against the Bengals.
I mean, look, who walked away with the W? That's the only stat that matters at the end of the day.
It was so close. I don't know.
Well, but you got the Bengals at Burrow.
A little harsh, but I don't think
13
they're going to
sounds a little harsh.
I don't think they're going to be a wild card team.
And I mean, even for the Broncos, I'm saying maybe possibly 6-10. I'm not saying they're going to be fucking out of the equation, but I'm not. I see them losing this division. I see the Broncos are the weakest in this division. Say the Chargers, are shitty and what? I think the Chargers came off not a. Where'd they go last year? Oh, they were 5-11 last year. That's pretty terrible, but
And they only got worse.
I don't know if they got worse. I don't
It
know.
didn't get worse. I mean, I see an
I
upgrade.
mean, if Tyrod Taylor is so good, then why didn't he start over Phillip Rivers when Phillip Rivers was doing so bad?
Because Tyrod Taylor
he's a
I mean,
backup.
Phillip Rivers is, one of those guys.
Look, they're not going to just bench Phillip Rivers. He has been their QB for the longest time, and he has been very close. He's had shitty
good
teams.
years.
He's gotten unlucky. He's gotten really unlucky.
Well, you know what? I think even if Tyrod Taylor is the guy and he does well, I think eventually they're going to bench him for Justin Herbert. Because just as from a marketing standpoint, and I think that's going to really hurt their record. I mean, they draft. He's their first round pick. He's like their new star quarterback. They don't have many fans. Nobody's watching this year anyways, so it'll just be they're watching, but they're not in the stands. I think it's just going to be something to get people's attention. So I think that's going to hurt their record in the end too. I mean, if Tyrod Taylor, even if he does decent enough, I think after
we're just
their
going to
bye
act
week,
like Tyrod Taylor didn't bring the Bills into the playoffs when he was
whatever.
And you got a dominant Joey Bosa, you got Derwin James, you got Eckler. I mean, they got weapons. I like the Chargers to win some
They
games.
always have weapons. It just doesn't pan out.
I will admit, I guess Tyrod Taylor is the X factor here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's I really do. It's Tyrod's chance, and what's he gonna do? I mean, he squeaked the win out, but he's still got Keenan, and I'm not gonna, I like it. I have hope for the Chargers. I mean, I'm not hopeful to see them do anything crazy, but I like them much more than the Broncos.
Okay, all right. So, moving on.
We at the South.
AFC.
Oh,
South.
baby.
Let
me kick this off.
All right, guys, kick this off. I know.
Jaguar G.
Jaguars.
Time to shine, Jaguar G.
All right, winning the division, boys. Listen, you can disagree with me all you want.
I'm not. I'm telling you.
But Gardner Minshew
Don't
is taking
say-
this team to 8-8.
Jaguars.
He's taking this team to 8-8, and they are winning the division.
8-8.
Get out of here. You're gonna owe me. Woo!
8-8. 10-6.
8-8.
You're taking me to a buffet for that big talk.
And then I got Houston, Indiana, and Tennessee all going 7-9.
Oh my goodness!
Gee, now, as crazy as that sounds,
It's definitely possible.
It sounds like
Possible.
crazy talk to me.
It's
It-
possible.
it does sound crazy talk, but
Big Ben, you better not come in here and cater that shit.
the AFC South division is a mess. I got all the records close to each other. I have the Titans winning.
Okay,
with a 9-7
at
record.
least you're speaking English now.
But I got the Colts, Texans, and Jaguars all at 8-8.
Ooh.
I got it being a close
No
division.
way. Where's this Colts love looking? The Colts are looking terrible. I hate the Colts this season. I have them going 5-11. Where's this love for the Colts? Where's this love for the Colts making it their way? I have, listen, I have the Titans going 10-6. I don't think they're too crazy. You got a big, mean Derrick Henry. They squeaked out a win. They weren't looking dominant. I got the Texans behind them. That's okay. 8-8. I got Texans 8-8. Jaguars at best 7-9 at best, and that's just the Minshew magic, whatever. And then Colts got 5-11. It's just that seems like that seems like a sane thought here.
Well, guys, you have an ally in this. I have Jacksonville. I have them going 10-6.
All right, ridiculous.
My God.
Ridiculous.
They can do it. They
Yeah.
can do it.
Oh my
Do it.
God.
You know what? People
3 boxes of
say they're
donuts.
tanking. People say they're tanking. They're not tanking. They're just getting
They're
rid
not tanking.
of the naysayers. They're getting rid of the people that
Ooh.
don't want to stay on the team.
Oh
They only
my
got better.
Feel
God.
They
better
only
after
got
the
better
Tommy
since last
Coughlin era. They have Jay Gruden at offensive. Or wait, Jay or John? Which one?
Jay.
Jay. They have Jay Gruden, offensive coordinator.
Oh my God.
He was playing chess.
They beat a shitty Colt, the worst Colts team I've seen in so long. They are nothing.
Well, they were hyped up like fucking nothing. Like they were like fucking.
This Colts team is an upgrade from last year. I mean,
They beat the shitty Colts team and the Titans. I will admit the
Nobody
Titans.
thought the Jaguars were gonna win. Nobody thought they were going to win that.
But no one was expecting much from the Colts. No one was expecting much from the Colts.
I
think
was.
The
I thought
Texans
they were
and
going to take the
Titans
division first.
dominate Jaguars.
Look,
Texans
we're
and
acting
Titans
like
dominate
the Colts didn't almost make the playoffs with Jacoby Brissett as QB last year.
Right.
They're
That
not a
is true.
horrible team. They got better. They got a little bit better. They're not going 5-11
Jaguars,
this year again.
They
But
held
I
their
have the
own.
Jaguars. I see them as the best team in this division. I mean,
I see them as the best
Josh
team
Allen off the
personally,
edge,
but
Kayvon Chason off the other
What
edge. They
about
got
Deshaun
CJ
Deshaun
Henderson in the
Watson? You
draft.
think Deshaun Watson's going to sit down and take
That
take
lost
the
his
bottom
number
of the
one
division?
weapon? He lost his number one weapon for David Johnson, who's going to end up getting hurt and missing all the season.
Yeah, I think the
What about a Titan team that has potential? Like, look at this Derrick Henry.
it's just Derrick Henry.
Tannehill.
If you figure out how to stop Derrick Henry, you're golden.
The Ravens couldn't figure it out.
Well, eventually
true.
it'll catch up to him, right?
I got the Texans record highly dependent on they're another team that I think injuries is gonna decide their season, because you got Will Fuller, who's injury prone, who's now could potentially be their WR1. You got David Johnson, who's injury prone too, and these are two of their biggest offensive weapons at the moment.
I mean,
So
you still got a Randall. I mean, I know Randall Cobb's really nothing, but you got Brandon Cooks out there. I mean, I like Brandon Cooks.
I think they, if they get injured and they stay injured, I think they dip. I think
got
if
Kenny
they stay
Stills.
healthy, they can compete.
Not to mention Bill O'Brien as their coach.
Listen, I'm not.
He
Yeah,
always
I
blows it.
don't mind Bill O'Brien. You still got. I mean, listen, I will admit J.J. Watt. I'm not looking for him to do anything. But you got P.J. Hall, John Reed. Like, come on now. This Texan team is going to beat this Jaguar team. I'm sorry. Watson over Minshew, that's easy, G.
No.
I mean, I don't see it happening. I mean, Minshew's the guy.
Yeah.
19 for 20, 3
Jaguar
TDs.
G. That's what I call him, Jaguar G.
Only 4 other quarterbacks have done what Minshew has done. At least a 95% completion rates with 3 touchdowns, and that's Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, Marcus Mariota, and who else did it?
Marcus Mariota is not the
He's not
all
it.
to be. He's
That's
not
you
all
should've
to
just
be.
left
That's
that name
fair.
out.
I
You
understand.
should've just left that out.
Well, he was there. I can't not talk about him. I mean,
I think we're stat grabbing here. Minshew is comparable to Fitzmagic. I said it. Ooh, and he's not the guy.
he's a lot more
Sorry,
consistent.
Jaguar G. The Jaguars are not taking this division.
The best rookie of the season last year.
Yes, I agree with that.
Better
Josh
than
Jacobs
Kyler
close
Murray,
second.
and it's his
Josh
second
Jacobs
year.
close second.
Who won Rookie of the Year last year? Just fill me in.
Kyler Murray, right?
Even though with less starts, Gardner Minshew, more TDs, less interceptions.
And I think they made some great picks in the draft. I think they really knew what they were doing, and I think they picked players. They weren't very flashy, but they fit well in the system.
CJ Henderson.
The most I'll give this Jaguar team 9-7. The most I'll give this Jaguar team.
10-6 is a little bold. I give them 8-8 winning the division because I don't believe in this division. I don't think Tannehill and Derrick Henry can do it again. And
I do think 9-7 is enough.
I don't think Deshaun Watson can do it without DeAndre Hopkins.
I disagree. I think Jaguars are more a 7-9 team. I think Texans are the 8-8 team, and I think the Titans are going to be that 10-6, possibly 9-7, taking the top of the division. And the Colts, I see nothing from the Colts. I don't.
All right, boys. That's every division. I think we've talked a lot. I think just final thoughts. Browns and Bengals game tomorrow.
Oh,
I got the Bengals
Browns and Bengals.
Battle of Ohio.
I got the Browns coming back and getting this win.
Give me the Browns for this one.
I got the Browns coming back from a slaughter and squeaking out a win against this Bengal team, which I don't believe in. I don't believe in this Burrow Bengal team.
I don't believe in either of them, which is why this is not a very important game.
It's not a very attractive game to watch, but I'm going to have to say.
It's a toss-up, I think. I think the Browns are more likely to win, but I would not be surprised if the Bengals won. But I guess that just comes from two awful teams.
That's fair.
I guess
finals?
should we hit the primetime games for Sunday and Monday?
Let's do it.
What are they?
Sure.
We got Sunday night. We got the Patriots and the Seahawks.
Oh,
Okay.
Seahawks.
Ooh, I'm gonna take the
That's
Seahawks,
easy.
but I want to take the Seahawks here. But it's whether the Patriots lose, it's gonna be a feel-out game. I want to see what Cam can do against this Seahawks team.
All right.
And then Monday. I mean, anyone else want to make a take on that? Ben Gaios.
I
I
agree.
just think it's Seahawks easy. I don't think Cam is even going to be a factor. I think it.
Yeah.
I think the Seahawks are going to squeak. I think the Seahawks are going to win, but I don't think it's. I think it's going to be very competitive. We'll have to see.
I'm more on Ben's team, and then we got the Raiders and Saints
That's a primetime game.
on Monday night.
Saints are gonna. Oh, okay. Yeah, the Saints are gonna win.
Yeah, I got the Saints with that one. Another easy one.
I'm
going Raiders.
I'm saying I'm
going
gonna go Raiders. I think the Saints are coming into Sin City and they're gonna take the dub here. I think they'll take the L here.
Saints are without Malcolm Thomas this week, or Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas. I'm with Ben. I think the Saints are gonna go into Sin City and give the Raiders some life.
I got an upset win. Yeah.
All right. It's
So,
8 o'clock, boys.
Yeah, do you guys want to call it? It's 8 o'clock.
Should we touch on
The finals.
touch a little bit on the finals, the NBA?
Ooh.
Oh.
Talk about this
I got a lot
Clipper
to talk about
debacle.
here. I got a lot to
Should
talk
we make
about.
this another talk? Or no?
I might have to be out for other obligations.
Yeah,
I
I'm
would love
hungry.
it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. We'll come back.
We'll do
to
this
the
later,
finals.
though.
Yeah. First thing we'll talk about next weekly Bool. All right.
Yes.
This has been Weekly Bool, episode 1. We will see you, loyal listeners, next week. That's why it's called Weekly Bool. All right. Signing off.
Signing off.